Hey guys, I'm Sage Valentine. I'm back here doing an earlier than usual review of AMC's The Walking Dead Season 8. This time I'm reviewing episode number 7, so let me just get down to it. Pretty much, Rick gives Jadis an ultimatum. He's just like, join us or die, and Jadis is more concerned with sculpting him. She could care less what he's talking about. Am I surprised? No. So we get to Eugene. Eugene is struggling. He reveals to Dwight that he knows he is the traitor and tells him to stop it, and he won't tell on him. Dwight is like, dude, the sanctuary is over. It's about to fall. All you have to do is just stand down, fall back, stay out of this. And Dwight lets Eugene know that despite the fact that Eugene hasn't directly done anything, he is a part of this mess. Now keep in mind, in the comics, Eugene does not join the Saviors. He is not in a good position while he's at the sanctuary, and he goes through a lot. And I kind of wish that the show had kept that storyline, because I'm really not feeling this Eugene as a Savior storyline, because it just seems out of character for the comic book character that I know and love. And I do remember that the writers, and I think it was Scott Gimple, who also said that this season is going to blow the minds of all the comic book fans, or drive us crazy, or one of the two. And it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. But this episode, honestly, annoyed the crap out of me until the end, when Rick got the upper hand on Jadis and the crew. That was the best part of the episode, in my opinion. So Eugene basically says, we are saviors, we save. And he tells Dwight, don't hurt anyone in here with your actions or your plans, and I'll keep my mouth shut. Now he's sitting up here and he is threatening Dwight, I guess, by trying to hold over his head the fact that he's in good with Negan over Dwight. And I'm just like, dude, like, you're still a part of Team Family. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, ugh. As I said, TV show Eugene is working my nerves right now. So according to Laura, the Saviors have 1 day or so before the Walkers burst in through the doors. Well, at least they thought they did, until Daryl did what he did. Father Gabriel seems to be getting worse. According to the doctor, he has an infection. Do I think that Father Gabriel will die? No, I do not. Eugene sees Father Gabriel as a traitor. He doesn't want him to die, though. Again, Eugene is conflicted. And he reveals, that he won't help Father Gabriel get the doctor to the sanctuary, because that doctor is the OBGYN from the hilltop. And Father Gabriel wanted Eugene to do the right thing, and he believes that Eugene will do it when the time comes. And at this point in the episode, while I'm watching, and I'm just like, I'm not sure if he is or he isn't. I thought it was cool, though, that we were able to see Morgan sitting there in sniper mode, looking through the sniper scope, and it reminded me of that last scene we saw of Morgan in the first episode of season 1, where he was just like staring out of that scope, and then he was deciding whether or not he can will himself to put down his wife finally. So Morgan sees a truck pull up, and he's talking to a guy on the walkie-talkie, and he tells him don't fire on it because it's one of theirs, meaning it's Team Family. Because in that truck is Rosita, Tara, and Michonne, and Daryl. So Tanya, one of Negan's wives, comes looking for her boombox. Apparently Eugene was supposed to fix it, and she would give him a bottle of wine, or she had given him a bottle of wine, and then she was going to give him another bottle of wine, something like that. But unfortunately, at this point, there are more pressing issues, i.e. the Walkers are about to break in through the doors. And Eugene needs that wine because it helps him sleep. So he begs Tanya, despite the fact that he wasn't able to fix her boombox, to leave that bottle with him. And then here comes Tanya blaming Eugene for this whole situation with Negan. But honestly, it's not his fault. He couldn't trust Tanya or Frankie or Amber. And that plan they had, that idea was extremely reckless and probably would have gotten Eugene killed, honestly. And on a side note, if Tanya and the other girls didn't want to be wives, then they could go back to being workers, like everyone else, with no repercussion other than a loss of special privileges. It is what it is. But unfortunately, that's not what she wants to do, and some of those other wives are not about to lift a finger. At least that part is the same in the comic book and on the TV show. So, this idea that Daryl has, Michonne is not here for it because she says it's risky, but Tara's okay with it. Morgan wants to help. Rosita thinks that it's risky as well. She doesn't want to do it. She wants to follow Rick's plan. Michonne at first decides, you know what, I want to see this through. So Rosita revealed that she had a change of heart about fighting the power, fighting the man, meaning Negan, after she saw Sasha exit the coffin. Now, Negan calls for Eugene, and Negan is just so good at this apocalypse thing. He says that a lot of people in the sanctuary are going to die, but not him. Negan knows that he's strong. All of a sudden, Eugene was about to kiss Negan's hand. I'm just like, Eugene, what are you doing? It was weird, and Negan thought it was weird as well. So he finally shakes Negan's hand like Negan wanted him to. Now, Michonne decides, after thinking, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this mess either, this idea that Daryl has. She says it's not worth risking us, and she just can't do it, and Daryl respects her decision. On a side note, I'm glad that that little scene between Daryl and Michonne was included in the episode because we really don't get to see that anymore, and I love it when those two are together because of their chemistry as friends and the way that, like, Daryl respects her in the way that he respects Rick. I just love those three so much. Eugene tries to redirect the walkers from the exits with this doohickey flying thing using the boombox and some radio control thing or whatever, and Dwight caught him. Now, mind you, Eugene is on top of the roof trying to fly this thing. Then we hear that the snipers are ready, and the snipers are the ones that are a part of Team Family. So Dwight has a gun on Eugene, and I honestly wanted Dwight to shoot him, but I realized that if he did, that wouldn't look good to Negan. But at this point in the episode, I'm just completely over Eugene at this point. Dwight wants to get rid of Negan, and in doing so, he can save people in the sanctuary and Team Family. Eugene goes ahead and flies that thingy that he made. Meanwhile, Daryl's plan takes off. Dwight shoots down the glider. Tara, Morgan, and the snipers are firing at the building. Daryl's in the truck. He starts moving it. He puts a center block on the brake. He jumps out, and the truck crashes into the sanctuary building. And I'm just like, this was such a terrible idea from the beginning. As soon as Daryl mentioned it, and I was right. The walkers entered the sanctuary building and killed quite a few of the unarmed saviors, and probably some of the second-hand lieutenants too before they made it up the steps. Eugene was frozen, and he's shocked by the sight of what he sees, and he hears the people screaming. Also, the walkers got clogged by the steps to the second floor, and I was just dying. I said, none of them can make it up the steps. They just can't even walk. Eugene bursts in fussing with Father Gabriel, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you, Eugene? Like, dude, why are you going off on Father Gabriel? Father Gabriel is sick. And Eugene's like, he won't end up dead like Father Gabriel and Sasha, but who said Father Gabriel is dead? Really, Father Gabriel needs some medicine or something. And Eugene says that he will survive and he will do so by listening to Negan. And I'm just like, okay. Eugene knows what Negan is going to do to retaliate, and he is all here for it. At this point, I am just like, dude, I don't care what happens to Eugene. He completely turned his back on Team Family. The writers are going to have to do some major flips and twists to really make fans like Eugene again, because a lot of people don't like him the way that they used to. And I remember reading somewhere that the actor Josh McDermott was getting death threats on social media, and he either took a break or he deactivated his accounts. Either way, it's not that serious. I don't like the character, but the actor, please, he seemed like a nice guy, and I can separate both of the two. If I don't like the character, I can like the actor, i.e. me and my love of John Bernthal, although I did not like Shane. Get where I'm coming from? So, Eugene being all here for Negan annoyed me because I literally held out hope that Eugene was playing Negan. I wanted something to happen to him, and then all of a sudden, Eugene reveals the truth, like, I was just playing, I'm not really a part of the Saviors, but damn was I wrong. I was so annoyed when Eugene went into that room and was like this close to telling on Dwight. And I kept saying to myself, if this happens, I am 100% done with this character. But unfortunately, Dwight came into that room while Eugene was with Negan, and as Eugene was about to say something, he decided against it and started talking about fixing the intercom system again. As I said before, Eugene is conflicted, but still, I'm annoyed with Eugene at this point. Now, there's a scene where Eugene looks like he's about to kill himself. It looked like he took some pills and drank some alcohol, and he started throwing up. I'm like, what is going on with Eugene? I don't like this at all. Then we get back to the scene with Jadis and the trash people, and they let Rick out of his container, and they bring forth this walker that reminds me a lot of Winslow, the walker who had like the spikes sticking out of all these places, but I think this must be a different walker or something. He had a metal hat, but it was like the pointy things were up. And Jadis says it's time for after, i.e. her idea of after means Rick dying via this walker with the hat thing on. And then I guess after he dies, Jadis can sculpt him. Like, Jadis is so weird and so strange. Oh, when her character finally goes, I'm fine with it. I'm fine, because I'm over her about as much as I'm over Eugene at this point. So Rick ends up flipping the script, kicking the crap out of two of the trash people. He puts Jadis in this position whereas she faces her death, but he lets her know that, and the rest of the trash people, like, I'm gonna leave, and when I do, you guys are gonna die. Because he'll leave, head back to Hilltop, or head back to, more than likely, Alexandria, and the troops will come in, maybe not that day, as he said, maybe the next day, but they're coming and they're gonna kill all of you. He said you can play your games, draw your pictures, sculpt whatever blank you want, but I'm leaving. And that line was awesome. This was the best scene in the episode, in my opinion. This is the one saving grace of the episode that made me like it a little bit more. I kind of wish that Rick's scene with the trash people was a little bit longer. Jadis told her people to stand down. She said she and Rick are done, and she wants to join Team Family. So Rick talks about this idea he has focusing on the sanctuary being surrounded by walkers, because this is what he thinks. And don't forget, he's been in that little container thing for quite a few hours. I would say maybe it's not overnight, but it's maybe 3 or 4 hours, but still, he has no idea what happened at the sanctuary and what Daryl and Tara did. He doesn't know about it. And in the words of Negan, that's over. So Jadis told her people to stand down. She said she and Rick are done, and she wants to join Team Family and help them fight. So Rick starts telling Jadis about this idea that focuses on the sanctuary being surrounded by walkers, but as we know in the words of Negan, that's over. It's just sad that at that point, Rick has no idea. So the trash people will join up in the upcoming fight that we will see in the mid-season finale on Sunday, which is like 90 minutes, and hopefully it's not filled with commercials. On a side note, because last night I was watching Happy on Sci-Fi, and they had limited commercial interruption, and I feel like AMC needs to adopt that because these episodes seem to be getting shorter and shorter. And a 90-minute episode, for the most part, is probably going to end up being a 55 or 60-minute episode. I want a full 90-minute episode with maybe like 1 or 2 little teeny breaks, or no breaks at all. Jadis tries to haggle for the sanctuary stuff, and Rick was like, listen, you get 1/4 of the stuff. So Jadis reveals she'll agree to that if she can sculpt Rick naked. And I'm just like, girl, you tried some mess last season and Rick had to hold Michonne back. You just keep on trying it. And if the writers decide to have Michonne slap her, bop her, something, I'm okay with that, because I am just over this girl trying to go to bed with Rick. I'm sure she tried this mess on Negan, but she doesn't seem like Negan's type. And I'm sure some of you are watching this and you're just like, Negan has a type? Yeah, Negan has a type, and Jadis is definitely not his type. So Rick is just like, hell no, get me my clothes. And Jadis agrees to the 1/4 of the stuff that Rick mentioned. So Rick and the trash people head out in, of all things, a garbage truck. Rick sees a man hanging upside down and being eaten by walkers. And on a side note, that is a nod to something that happens in the comic books. It's a death. I won't say whose death it is, but it's a death, and it looks in the end just like that. So I'm a little bit worried. So Rick kills those walkers, climbs up the tower to see what's up, because he tries to contact the snipers, including Morgan, and no one answers back, and he's just like, what the heck is going on? So he climbs up the tower, and that's when he sees that the walkers are gone, and this is a huge, huge night. Honestly, episode 7 is my least favorite episode of the season so far. It's down there with the Governor's 2 episodes because I'm really not feeling the Governor. And honestly, I really didn't like him after I heard what he did to Michonne in the comic books. And then the mess he did on the TV show, it's just like, But David Morrissey seems like a cool actor, and I heard he's a really cool guy when you meet him. But his character on here, in my opinion. Maybe some of you like him, but I'm just kind of like, But yeah, this is my least favorite episode, one of them. As far as the mid-season finale is concerned, there are rumors swirling around about who is going to die. Because according to Chris Hardwick, this is going to be a very rough mid-season finale and have a lot of people talking, and you don't want to miss it. My thing is this. It's going to be a major character, more than likely. As to who it is, I don't know. One girl joked online about it being Michonne. I don't think it's Michonne. You already killed Glenn. I can't see them killing Michonne at this point. I did hear a rumor, an alleged rumor. It's not 100% true about who it is, but I'm not even going to entertain it by even mentioning it. Because honestly, they could kill off anybody at this point, including Daryl, so God only knows. And when it comes to the writers now, they really just don't care, I guess, after season 7 when everyone was pissed after Glenn died and the people were pissed about the break and how you had to wait to find out who died and everything. They're just doing what they feel will shock and awe us, and it will work, and it'll probably bring a heck of a lot of people who stopped watching it back to the show to watch the finale. Me personally, I'm not even going to hedge any bets. But this weekend, I'm going to have a fun time at Walker Stalker. And I will be back again to review the mid-season finale. And I'm going to try my best to get you that review as early as possible. Because once it happens, I'm going to watch it again. And that's it. Because this episode, I could not rewatch it. Because I just was not feeling the episode. But let me know what you thought of this. Let me know what you think of the season so far and what you think is going to happen in the second half of the series. Or who do you think is going to die? Let me know. Comments below. Love you all. Sage Valentine. Peace. Bye, guys.